Hey, what's up, guys and gals? It's me, J-Man, from the newly named Vagabond Daily. I really don't know how I ended up with that YouTube name. I just went to a random search engine and found it. But funny story, real quick. I'll tell you kind of how it got started. I didn't want to leave it with just whatever it was. It was nothing really, just my personal YouTube account. But I posted something on Facebook or Twitter or something about, hey, come to my YouTube channel, check it out. And in the description it says, I'm just a daily vagabond, going through life, having fun. And a buddy posted, what's a vagabond? Who uses that word anymore? And I was like, well, I do. I think it's cool. I heard it in a Rod Stewart album or song, and it was great. Love the word vagabond. So I typed that in with just a random YouTube generator, Vagabond Daily. Even though I don't post daily, we're going to leave it at that. So anyway, today what I want to talk to you about is kind of I wouldn't say a top three, but I'm going to pick out three of the most important things that you need if you are going back to college after a long period of time, kind of like I did. So let's go ahead and get it started. Your first, well, these aren't necessarily in any order, but this one I would say would be your first and foremost. If you are a non-traditional student like I am, and you want to go back to college for the first time, it's been it's been many years since I've been to college. And I finally, back in 2013, decided, hey, I got to get my act together. I got to go back and pursue something that I really love, which is radio or voiceover work, stuff like that. So I went back, I finally applied. I kind of, over the years, I kind of, instead of in my 20s, I went and did, the work thing. And I worked hard, and I was very respectable in my jobs, became manager at many places, but it just wasn't fulfilling to me, and I ended up stumbling upon radio and worked in it for a few years. I'm kind of back in it right now, but it's an amazing thing. I found my love, I found my passion to use my voice and just make people happy. So that kind of persuaded me to go back into school under a mass comm. Multimedia journalism is what I'm under. They don't have the specific radio degree anymore. They just kind of lumped it all together and made one big one. So I went back in 2013, and let me tell you, I was scared. I was really scared. That's why I avoided it for so many years, because I'm not old per se, but I'm older than the normal traditional student. So after going back, I had my reservations. I was nervous. I signed, got my loans, everything, and went back. And, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I actually enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It can be very, very stressful at times. Definitely puts me into frenzy mode sometimes with schoolwork and work life and somewhat of a social life, everything. So anyway, these are three of the things that I kind of picked out of what I thought was good for a non-traditional student to have when going back to college. Now, number one, now again, these aren't in any order, but number one, I would say you got to have a game plan. If you're going back for the first time and you're just going back for, well, I don't know what I want to do, and you're going back in it, believe me, you're going to be in for a shock, because you go back in, and if you don't have a game plan of what you want to do, it could be overwhelming, because you've got tons of different degrees, tons of different places to go. And even if you don't know what you want to do, that's okay. You'll find it, just like traditional students are doing. But one of the biggest things, you got to have a game plan going in. Know what you want to do. If you're a non-traditional student, more than likely you probably have a generalized idea of what you want to do in life. So that helps you. So when I went in and started the actual process, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I haven't changed it. That's just me. I know what I want to do. I'm going for it. And I think a lot of professors and my advisor see that, and think, well, okay, this guy knows what he wants. But if you don't know what you want to do, I mean, that's fine. You'll find out eventually. Hopefully you don't waste a lot of loan money or scholarships or whatever. But first and foremost, know what you want to do. Have a game plan going in. I mean, you're going to need a lot of different stuff. If you're going in thinking, I'm just going to breeze this, I'm older, I know what I'm doing in life, won't work like that. So hopefully by now, I'd say you know exactly what you want to do and how a game plan gets started. But I mean, you got to think of the basics. You're going to need textbooks. You're going to need just writing books in general. More importantly, you're going to need a computer. I would get a laptop. Now, I have two computers. I have a desktop and I have a laptop. Desktop is just specifically for just other uses. But I would get a laptop, honestly. I mean, you don't have to get an expensive laptop. Honestly, I just got a cheap Asus laptop. I paid like $300 for it. I've had it for, 3 years now. And that's all I do is just schoolwork. I don't really do anything else. I started messing around with some YouTube stuff, but I decided to move it over to my desktop. So invest in a laptop because you're going to need it. I mean, even now, these days, you can get away with maybe iPad. You can use iPad. I've seen students all the time using iPads and stuff. I mean, that'll work. I don't know how efficient it would be compared to a laptop. But yeah, try that. So you're going to need textbooks. You're going to need a backpack. Just get a cheap backpack. Get one of the over-the-shoulder luggage bags. Those work too. But you're going to need textbooks, pencils, all the little stuff that you probably could forget. But definitely going to need that laptop. Number 2, I would probably invest in one of these. Now this is just my personal planner, daily planner that I use. I also have a big, the thing's huge, just like the size of this back wall, a big dry weight erase board that I use. And I actually have marked out everything that I need to do during the week. Mine is actually a little more detailed than most. I actually have a work schedule on there too. And then I have my school schedule and I write down, what's due, when it's due. Same way with this. I mean, this works too. You can carry it around with you. You write down each day, hey, I've got a test at this time, got to study for this exam, homework here, there, and these things come in handy. I never would have thought that I would be using a planner in my daily life, but these things are great. I've always been kind of a free roam, spur of the moment kind of guy, but these things are great. They'll save your life because you'll forget. If you're like me, you've got tons of stuff going on in your head, and you'll forget exactly what you're supposed to do on a daily basis. So invest in one of these. I got this for free, but it says it's $8, and it covers every month. It's got little details, and you don't have to buy a big one. You can go with a small one right here, like I've got down, my goals here of what I need to do. So invest in one of these, just a daily planner. Dry erase boards too. Those are really nice because you can hang them up. You can write down everything. That way, so you're coming in. If you're coming in from work or school and you're in your home, you can look over and be like, oh, okay, here's what I got to do. So I'm gonna go get it done. So invest in one of those. I would say that would be a very good thing to do. Okay, and number 3, last and not least. This is really important. If you are working a job that's kind of steady, that you have a set schedule, that's a good thing, but make sure your employer can work around your school schedule. That's one of the most, that's one of the hardest things to get accomplished is if you're a non-traditional student, you probably have bills like I do. So you need something to pay the bills, but you gotta go to school too. So trying to balance all that, it could be a mother, I'll tell you that. But you gotta find a job that somewhat pays well, so you can pay the bills, and can work around your school schedules. Now, I would say probably the number one job that would do that would be a waiter or a waitress at a restaurant, because they can work around schedules like crazy. They have, if you can't work until 3 and only can work till 3 to 9, hey, it's more than likely you can do that, or you can switch shifts, and it's very easy to do. Retail is another good one. That's actually what I'm doing now, working retail and working radio, and I'm going to school, so I've got to juggle 3 different things. So 2 different jobs and going to school. It's crazy, it's hectic, I know, but make sure that your employer can work around your schedule. I mean, whatever you're doing, if you're planning on going back and you're working someplace that's not even going to budge at all, chances are you're not going to make it. College will suffer, or your work environment will suffer, and you get fired, and no one wants that. So I know it sucks, especially being in a position like myself, a non-traditional student, and probably yourself if you're watching this. So you gotta look at, how can I make money and how can I go to school? It's really tough to balance. It really is, but you can balance it. It just takes a lot of effort. Now I'm not married and I don't have any kids, so I can't take that into consideration or factor at all, because that would be, I mean, if you can do that, that would be extremely amazing. And there are people that do that, so my hat's off to you. So you've got to work around all your scheduling. I mean, that's one of the major things, major key, as DJ Khaled would say. So those are really the 3, I think, most important things in going back to college for a non-traditional student. Now, there are plenty others that I just can't list due to time reasons. If you have any, hey, leave it in the comment section below. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and give it a like. I mean, I'm trying my best in keeping these videos updated, but like I said, I'm working 2 jobs, going to school, and then, whatever other stuff, if I even have time for that. So I'll try to keep these updated as best as possible. But anyway, my name is J-Man for Vagabond Daily. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you later.